Uno Mas here, folks, on the LA Sparks 365 Network, and welcome in, folks, to the two-man show of record that we like to call Guys with Petition. Hello again, everyone. Cal McClurg and Chris Woodmansey will be joining you folks here from Studio 171 in San Diego and the Innerheart Studios up in Anaheim, California. All right, Chris, one more show of the night, man. You hanging in there?
Yeah, I'm not what I just freaking. I know saying Sparks man where this shit just happens now.
Well, you're about 11 minutes late there on the Sparks fan, whatever occurred that you just said. I don't know what it was. But Chris, tonight of the petition, man, we have one topic that we're going to talk about, basically, folks, and that's going to be about it. I think folks to tweet to us during the petition show. Please use the hashtag PGWTP. Hashtag again is PGWTP, and follow us on Twitter at LASparks365. Chris, the only thing we have to talk about tonight, man, and I've kind of wanted to talk about for a while, it's been a deal that's occurred in not just the WNBA, Chris, but across some other sports, is local television stations either not showing the games on television or showing a very insufficient number of games on television. As we know, the Sparks released their 2014 programming schedule with time on the cable sports network, which will feature 25 of their 34 games being shown on local television, Chris. Now, Chris, the only reason we're talking about this, man, is I have seen a few other teams' television schedules. Last time I saw, Chris, was the Phoenix Mercury, Chris, are playing, their 34 games, Chris, but only 8 of their 34 games are going to be on local television. And I believe, Chris, the Dream are doing the same thing. So, Chris, real quick, so first time winner, Chris, is, why do you think, though, that some teams in the WNBA, Chris, aren't getting a whole lot of their games on local television stations?
Probably because, I don't know, probably because they're not big name teams, and I don't know.
No, Chris, spare me that. I don't want to hear all the regular stuff that arrogant, ignorant sports fans say all the time about it. Oh, it's WNBA. Let them go to hell. This and that. Chris, there has to be a reason why, other than the normal nonsense that we hear from a lot of people on Twitter and Facebook about us watching the WNBA, Chris, that leads them to not have a lot of the games on television, Chris. Now, yes, we know about the obvious reasons. It's a women's sport. Who the hell's going to watch it? I'd rather have $5 in my wallet than have them win a championship. Chris, there's a bigger reason than all the regular nonsense, BS, crap, puddle of mud crap we hear all the time about from regular, average sports fans that boo player injuries and stuff like that. Because, it baffles me, man, though, that these teams, Chris, they have a fan base. Believe it or not, people, there's a fan base supporting all the 12 teams in the league, Chris. So why only give a team, Chris, outside of LA, Chris, barely 8 games on 2 different networks, Chris? I just don't understand it.
Yep, me too.
I don't know what it is, Chris. I know that yesterday when we were reading tweets from Matt Johnson, that people were saying, it was, Chris, all the regular, dumbfounded, idiot sports fans came out like normal, as they always do. They come out. Chris, it's just like the LA Kings bandwagon. All these people come out of nowhere. They come out of their closets, underneath the bed, down the street corner, out of dumpsters, and they just, start talking BS about the WNBA because, that's just the way that American sports fans, Chris, are built. It's to discriminate women pro sports, or in Donald Sterling's case, Chris, discriminate against African American people, which would include, Chris, Magic Johnson, because he was a part of that whole debacle up there at, with Donald Sterling and crap like that, man. But as far as those men with the TV issues, man, is, I think the reason is, Chris, is for the same reason the Sparks left Fox Sports West, is I think other teams on the same stations, like Fox Sports West, Prime Ticket, Sportsnet LA, Fox Sports Arizona, Chris, they have other teams they broadcast, and that is their main tier programming. But I think, Chris, that is why there's not a lot of their games being shown on television, just because, Chris, if you look back at it, man, the Sparks, when they were on FSN / Fox Sports West and Prime Ticket and KDOC, or at least Fox Sports West, Chris, is they had the Dodgers. They had the Angels because they had the Dodgers and Angels because they were battling for it. And also, Chris, battling the Galaxy for airtime, Chris. So I think more so, man, it's conflict of schedules that I think you see why teams don't have a lot of games on television. Unlike the Sparks, where they have 25 games, Chris. But I think, man, it's more so scheduling conflicts because Chris, when the Sparks were on Fox Sports West and Prime Ticket and on KDOC for a little bit, Chris, and they had other teams they were battling airtime with. The Dodgers on Prime Ticket, the Angels on Fox Sports West, the Galaxy also on Fox Sports West and on KDOC. So, Chris, I think it's more so scheduling conflicts. And it might be about the other nonsense we hear from your average American sports fan, because it's the WNBA and it's a bunch of this other, a bunch of other nonsense, man. But, I mean, what do you think it is, though, other than, average sports fan mentality and or what do you think it is?
Probably the mentality.
No, I don't think it's the mentality, Chris. I mean, in my view, Chris, you have to factor in that these networks, Chris. I mean, for instance, Chris, look at Fox Sports Arizona. Okay, their summer, Chris, is booked with the Diamondbacks. And with a team you know very well, the Arizona Rattlers of the Arena Football League, plus the Suns during the Winter League or during the NBA season, and also with the Coyotes in the NHL, Chris. That is the reason why, Chris, I think that there are problems with WNBA's teams because they're up against their other television counterparts. Now, with Sportsnet, Chris, 25 games is a lot, especially, Chris, for it being the WNBA. But, Chris, they realize, though, that in L.A. you have a fan base. You have the Lakers, you've got the Sparks, so they know they'll get a lot of viewers to watch the games on television. Now, other cities, though, like Seattle, on, I believe it's Reach Sports Pacific Northwest, I think, or FSN Northwest, something like that, or with Phoenix on Fox Sports AZ, or Fox Sports San Antonio for the Stars or whatever they're going to be with, or Fox Sports Southwest, Chris, is they're up against too many other things. The Storm are battling the Mariners. The Dream are battling the Braves, and then come the playoffs, Chris, we're battling the Falcons in the NFL. And also with that, man, the Sparks are battling the Galaxy right now in MLS soccer for airtime, Chris, and the Mercury are battling, the D-backs for airtime. So, Chris, it's not, in my view, it's nowhere close to the regular mindset of our average American sports fan where we're still discriminating on women athletes. When they play the game way harder than your average, marquee NBA superstars out there like LeBum and KD and Kobe Bryant and a few other players, especially they played harder than Mr. Dwight Howard. That's a damn proven fact. But Chris, I think they're just up against the other television. They're up against, Chris, a versatile lineup, Chris, of their other counterparts on the network. I think. Not just Chris. I mean, hey, if Tom Kibble Sports and Chris hated the Sparks so much, Chris, they won't even bother showing the games on television. But Chris, that the networks care about this sport. Look at ESPN, for God's sakes, people. That's a proven fact, too, about ESPN as well. If they put the games on TV, folks, that means they care about the sport. Then again, they are the wide world leader in sports, but they suck ass sometimes when it comes to the East Coast bias. But, Chris, if these local TV stations, man, didn't give two hoots about the WNBA, they wouldn't put it on television. But, Chris, they obviously care about the sport enough to at least put 8, 10, or in our case, Chris, 25 games on television, right?
Right. And mostly on ESPN, I think, the whole playoffs, they show the whole WNBA playoffs on ESPN.
Chris, they have the rights through 2027 for regular season and postseason. So guess what, people? I'll say it again. I know I haven't had to yet on the network, but for the average sports fan, that person doing this right now, if you're not a WNBA fan, suck it up and watch the WNBA. Don't be like the average American people out there, Chris. Like Larry Burnett said on my radio show, Chris, is give it a shot. Watch a game or go to a game in person, then you jump to your conclusion. But don't be like every other pro sports fan that I have to hear from on Facebook or Twitter, because I'm a big WNBA supporter when I've watched the game, folks, for 10 damn years. Okay? I have the resume here of the WNBA based on my back pocket of 10 years of experience covering this game. That is the WNBA. But again, Chris, watch a game on television, go to a game, then jump to your conclusion.
Right. And if you love basketball, where are you going to watch during the season when there's no Lakers and no NBA season?
I don't know, Chris. Let's see. I'll go back and rewatch the NBA Finals from 2001, or I'll go back and watch. I'll go watch the LA Defenders play the Fort Wayne Mad Ants. Defenders play the Santa Cruz Warriors, or the. No, I will take the WNBA every single day of the week until I am dead and buried and gone. I die in a car crash when I first get my license at age 22, or I'm 85 years old. I will take the WNBA any day of the week over the NBA Finals reruns, the NBA Development League, and for sure, Chris, over anything involving the NFL Draft. That's for damn sure as well.
Yep, agree. Me too. Because just like the women, I think someone said, the women work way harder than the NBA.
You know what? It's a proven fact, man. I mean, hell, Chris, if I go back and watch an interview with CP3, LA's original CP3, Candace Parker on CBS from 08 on YouTube, Chris, hey, if they can label Candace Parker, Lisa Leslie, Tina Thompson, and Brittany Griner, Chris, as 4 players that could have played in the NBA, that's saying something about their work ethic.
Yep, agree.
So, hey, I'm sorry, folks, that I had to get on my soapbox here about all you ignorant and average sports fans out there, but it had to come out eventually because I'm just so tired of everyone always giving all of us WNBA fans the cultural treatment or discriminating on us, because that's basically what it is, because it's discrimination for people that are doing stuff like this, Chris. And obviously, Chris, if the TV providers, Chris, are putting their games on television, that means that they care just as much about the sport as we do.
Yep, agree. And also on ABC7, mostly sometimes they even show the Sparks.
Oh, and then again, Chris, they got Lisa Leslie, the best WNBA player of all time, as one of their analysts too on SportsZone on the weekend. So, hey, I mean, if you guys don't like what we're saying, you can do what you can do. You can do it all. You can call my house. You can send a letter to my house address. You can call me, Facebook, Twitter, IG me, email me, freaking, drive to my house and say I'm an idiot. But hey, it's the flat-out truth. I've covered this game for 10 years, folks. 10 years is a long time in this league, folks. And I'm not done falling in anytime soon, folks, because why do you think I'm here every night? Why do you think myself and Chris, folks, built this network in the first place? Because not only did we save the Sparks in LA, folks, but I've been a long time women's basketball fan. Chris has been, and kind of has been, folks, but that's why we did it, because it's out of something that you all probably would call for the love of the game. I know any of you average, ignorant, dumbfounded sports fans out there would do the same damn thing if you wanted to talk about the NFL draft, about the NBA, about your favorite baseball team, your favorite soccer team, your favorite football team. And I have no problem with that, folks, because like I say, you can go to my Twitter handle and you can read my description covering anything and everything sports related, including the WNBA, Major League Soccer, NASCAR racing, cricket, golf, bowling, women's boxing, polo, horse racing, every damn sport, folks, I cover and watch, and I don't discriminate like most of you ignorant, average, pathetic sports fans out there.
Yep, agree.
Chris, I just did it. I called every average sports fan pathetic, an idiot, because of stuff that they do on Twitter and Facebook, because it's the WNBA. I don't go out there, Chris, ragging on people that go to NASCAR races, golf tournaments, MMA, fight cards, Chris, because I don't do that. Why? Because, like I said, man, I cover everything. You guys want proof? Come to my house. I'll tweet out my address probably if you guys are that damn convinced to see that I watch anything on television, folks. You can come over here to my house in San Diego, and I will show you that I watch every damn sport on my television guide. That is a proven fact, and if you don't believe me, try me and come to my house one day.
No comment.
Chris, if it goes that far, I'm going to do it because I'm just sick and tired, Chris, of the average, ignorant, pathetic sports fan always doing something to bring down the WNBA, Chris. We know it's not going to be on the big stage like your no-fun league, your NBA, MLB, all the big sports, Chris. We realize it. We know it. We don't need to keep hearing it from the sports fans, Chris. We know it's a minority league, Chris. We know there's 12 teams, but, Chris, we deal with it. Why do you think we sit here and watch it? We Google Hangout and talk about it. We tweet about it all the time. We make art edits of our favorite players in the WNBA, Chris. So, why do you think we watch it? We know, Chris, it's not going to go anywhere anytime soon, but we suck it up and watch the product.
Yep, agreed.
So, I mean, I do apologize, folks, that I have had to kind of, put the big boy pants on over here and kind of go off on some people. But, Chris, there's a few things that really, cause me to blow up to explode like a volcano. Fan misbehavior, player and/or fan and team bashing, and when people discriminate, racial stuff, Chris, and above all, when people take shots at other sports. I mean, Chris, last time I saw, athletes are athletes, regardless if they're, the best baseball player, Chris, or they're the best, archery shooter. I mean, Chris, we know that the Olympics have a lot of weird sports, Chris. Ping pong, power walking, curling, Chris. But they're all athletes, regardless of what they do. So why, take all these shots, be this average person and say, oh, I'm not going to watch that thing because I don't know what the hell, I don't know how to play it or whatever, Chris. Watch it. At least give it a shot. That's what I'm saying, Chris, is before you go and jump to the conclusions, like you're just going to follow everyone, just get in the long line of people that just, get in the long line of people that don't watch the WNBA, folks. Watch a game in person or on television. Then you make your claim as to, okay, I'll watch it, or unfortunately I can't do it because it's women's pro basketball, Chris. Larry Burnett, Chris, said it well on my radio show, and I'm trying to get that audio from the station, put on my SoundCloud page, man. But he said, it's not like an NBA game. Play below the rim, there's no dunks and no real action. But you can at least watch the game on television or at least go to a game in person before, not anything after this, before you make your claim and or your choice to watch it or not.
Yep, agree. And probably the 16th on season opener, I'm probably going to tweet, or probably today, I'm probably going to put a season opener. Mostly, the whole time, mostly you'll be seeing WNBA tweets. If you guys don't like it, unfollow me right now. Because I don't want to hear no smack talk on my timeline.
Fair warning, folks. It's going to happen for both of us. If you don't like it, you can click that unfollow button, and then you can hit that little circle with the line through that says block, and you can block us too, because you know what, folks? We don't care if you guys unfollow or block us because we watch it. Well, at least I watch everything and anything, folks. But if you don't like it, you can unfollow and block us and report for spam if you want to, folks. But that is how it's going to be, because it's going to be that way from May 16th all the way till the Sparks win the championship this year in 2014. And if you don't like it, you can unfollow and block us and be like the average, pathetic, ridiculous, ignorant, stupid-ass sports fans in this country that love to discriminate the WNBA because it's women's pro basketball. Pretty plain simple.
Yep, agreed. That's why I'm seeing a whole mess of tweets saying about, also that's why people had to mock, that's what I'm saying about Johnny Manziel and then saying about Alex Sparks because they want to mock the WNBA.
So, I mean, folks, we said our piece here, and stuff like that, and Leo's included, so, hey, it's up to you, pathetic sports fans out there to, to kind of make your your cheap-ass comeback here about, how you guys make, you guys have a better comeback than you. No, it's up to you average sports fans out there to make a comeback here against us now because we basically threw every fan under the bus, and frankly, I could care less if we did because, hey, we're on our network. This is, WNBA basketball talking here, man, so, hey, It was on our network, so it is what it is.
Yep, agreed.
So, again, folks, fair warning. You can unfollow if you want to, but again, get ready for the WNBA tweets from next Friday all the way through the finals. And if you don't like it, you can do what DX tells everyone to do in pro wrestling. That's those 2 words you guys know by heart. Hey, you don't like it? You can DX it. You can fill in those 2 words for you folks. You can fill in the blank yourself. But anyway, folks, for the WNBA fans that are out there, because you know there's a big group on Twitter out there that we know and love very well out there at least. But again, folks, at least for this is by the way, Chris, I'm gonna make one of those road signs I made a few weeks ago. This is for WNBA fans only. All others will be towed out of here. Again, we need WNBA fan help out there for Chris's vlog coming up next Friday night. Again, we need you to record a 30-second or minute-long video of saying how pumped you are for this season to start. You guys can rep your team or whatever you want. Either a half-minute or a minute long. And send it to us, folks, at this time. You guys can tweet it out to @LASparks365. You guys can go ahead and do that at this point in time. And once you guys do that, you will get a spot in Chris's vlog. So again, Chris, we need our great, our lovely, and our awesome and dynamite fam out there to help you out for next Friday, man.
Yep. Thanks.
So again, folks, we need your help. We will tweet out after the show what we need. What we need you guys again. But again, folks, we need a half-minute or minute-long video saying how pumped you guys are for the season. And you guys will get a spot in Christmas Yellowfish vlog next Friday when the Sparks open up their season. Yep, Seattle, Washington. Chris, I mean, real quick here, Chris. I mean, I know that I said a lot, but I need to apologize though out there if I did, hurt somebody's feelings out there, man. But I'm just tired of this stuff always getting thrown in a WNBA fan's faces. Because, Chris, we know about it. You don't need to keep beating down the dead horse. You know the league's not going to be anywhere in the upper echelon of pro sports. You know it's not going to get any bigger and stuff like this, Chris, but why do you always keep, bringing it up? Something called recycling the same material and over and over again.
Yep, agreed. And sometimes when I post it on Facebook, I think the last time I put that's what last time. And then I put last season, I put "Let's go Sparks," and someone replied, "Really, Sparks, WNBA?"
Well, Chris, actually, I will say this real quick, man. But I believe the Facebook and Twitter sphere, man, has actually kind of changed a little bit, man. It seems like we have had a few people that have actually liked either our photos that we posted about the Sparks or something like that. Man, I know that it seems like, man, that some of our friends, though, man, slowly but surely are kind of, we're kind of rubbing off some Sparks magic here, man. We're kind of, I guess, rubbing off some WNBA magic on some of our friends, man, because it seems like we've got a few of our friends to watch the games. It seems like.
Yep, agreed.
Because Chris, last time I did post Throwback Thursday, man, because I'm in 10 days, man, I'll be turning 20, and I was going to go through my Facebook timeline, and sing about during the petition campaign, man, and one guy, Chris, that I think that we did get to sign, Chris, David C. Mendoza, I remember the day that the Sparks were bought, that he posted a photo of Matty Johnson and Lowell Richie, Chris, in my timeline, and he said, "Glad they stayed, #GoSparks." So, I don't know, man. I gotta do a little Michael Jordan shrug, man. I don't know, but does it seem like we're getting some more fans out there in the WNBA? It looks like on Facebook and Twitter.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, and Chris, I mean, the best part about it too. I mean, because Chris, I know that we read all those tweets from last show about the Kings fan that posted that photo of Ducks goaltender Freddie Anderson being injured, and she said, "Go, Chris." That's why the WNBA fan base is so much better. Because Chris, the best part about it though was Scott Jackson, our man from Minnesota, the Lynx fan, follow me back from last night. So of course, I got to do a Maya Moore edit for her. She's one of my favorite players, and best players, Chris. And there was nothing. There was nothing about last season. Nothing at all. Manning said, "Yeah, it's gonna be a fun season. Hope you guys do well." So Chris, that's why we as WNBA fans are so much better than you average, pathetic, dumb-looking, dumbfounded sports fan, because we're not saying anything bad about the opposing teams. And above all, Chris, we don't kill, we don't stab, we don't run people over in the parking lots at their own stadiums like the damn Dodgers and Giants, man. That's why we're so much better than the average American sports fans out there.
Yep. Agreed.
And Chris, you know, I believe Shorty Mamba 24 told me, I think, that she basically, Chris, sent her entire WNBA fan directory to follow you on Twitter, man. How's it been so far with all the fans of the opposing franchise following you back, man? Has it been pretty solid so far?
Yep, and talking about one of Minnesota fans, I just said, where was it at? Well, he didn't reply, but he just favored it. I said, who's ready for the WNBA season? Though, to start next week, and he favored it. And I said, go Sparks. He even favored it. He didn't reply, go, oh, you guys suck and all that.
Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. Make the sign of the cross. Arminty Harrington, get me some Bible verses. Let me go to Bible study. Thank the Maker, Chris. And again, that is why we as WNBA fans, folks, are so much freaking better than you idiots out there, because we are not doing the average stuff like you idiotic people out there are doing on a day-to-day basis, and that is, you know, bashing the other team, bashing someone's favorite player, bashing a person because of who they root for, and or, Chris, risking their lives or their life because of a team that they root for, like this is the Dodgers, Giants in baseball.
Yep.
So, Chris, before I blow a gasket here, we're going to get off this topic here because, you know, we kind of got to know Chris by, you know, we were kind of going off there, but Chris, it had to happen. We had to have one show at least where we could come out here and defend our cases here because the Sparks Network, man, is made for the WNBA and Sparks. And Chris, like I always say, though, too, man. Chris, if you notice, though, too, when we start our show, start our block, man, I always say, good evening, WNBA and LA Sparks fans. Chris, we're here for everybody. We're not just here for the Sparks fans, Chris. We're here for everyone else across the rest of the league, Chris. And again, you know, the petition effort, Chris, of course, helped out because all the other teams of the opposing teams helped us out with the petition link, man. So, but again, Chris, before we get up, as we got this topic here, man, again, to the average sports fans out there that discriminate, that just, you know, keep, you know, discriminating in the WNBA, we get it. We know this is not going to be a league that is going to get the respect it deserves. It's not going to be in the upper echelons of pro sports. We know all about that, folks. Do us a favor and stop adding salt to our damn wounds. And Chris, you know, yes, that J-Lab just tweeted, so don't go there, Chris. This isn't sports. But, Chris, one more time here, but again, man, we know we're not going anywhere. We know we're not getting the respect we deserve. We know we're not going to be a bigger league sometime soon. And we know damn well that this is not going to be a league. It's going to be up there with MLB, NBA, NFL, and NHL, man. So why keep beating down the dead horse is all I'm going to say.
Yep, agree, and here we go again.
Well, that's another time and place here. But Chris, next Friday, man, as we close out here, we will we know of our tentative schedule, folks, but again, we'll be making our official schedule for Friday public coming up here in about 20 minutes or so here, folks. At the top of the hour at 11, we're going to go into a closed-door meeting here, folks. We will talk about the first week of programming, folks. By the way, like normal, Chris, the guy that we thought was going to go with us to the Sparks game on May 25th, like normal, Chris threw a wrench into our plans, so we'll have to sit down and talk about May 25th, folks. But at least right now, folks, we will have the debut of our 3 new shows, the Fab Form, Buzzer Beater LA, and the W, our Whip Around show, folks, on Friday night, May 16th, following the coverage of the Sparks game in Seattle, and then, of course, we'll have press pass Sparks all day as I go to the game on May 15th. So, Chris, closing thoughts here. We know we had a lot there, man, about TV, and we basically kind of ran a rave here about defending our cases, man, and what do you got to say for yourself as we close out here?
Just can't wait, and here we go again because I'm saying about the security again.
Well, luckily, Chris, we're going to be out here for the night, folks. So until tomorrow night, folks, we'll see you guys back here tomorrow night at 10 p.m. for Sparks 365. So until tomorrow night, folks, have a safe night. Drive home safely. The thing coming and good night now. This has been the LA Sparks 365 Network. We are Sparks. We are LA.